Hey guys, Han Yolo. In our beer video, I got a beer from Great Notion in collaboration with Foam Brewers out of Vermont. But this is a double IPA, the Elusive one, 8% ABV IPA brewed with honey. And I believe the honey is local to Foam Brewers out in Vermont. I'm not gonna lie, man, I've had this when it was really fresh. This was canned on 9/30/19. And it says Unseen Forces. You can't really read it, and I know just because I read it off another can. I was too lazy to wash the top of that can, but that's how this got wiped off. But you can see there. Let me try to cover the light a little. You can kind of make out the 930 there. And Unseen Forces, I think if I didn't tell you that, you wouldn't be able to make that out. But I kind of wiped it off as I was drying it after washing off the top there. But not gonna lie, I had this one is really fresh. Like, I think the weekend of, if not the weekend following the release, and it's not a bad beer. Don't get me wrong, not a bad beer, solid IPA, but that's all it was to me. Like, it was just an IPA. And let me get this into a glass as I talk, just so the video doesn't last forever. But when I had it, I expected, you know, some extreme honey flavors, and the honey did kind of come through. It opened up a little bit as the beer warmed up, but other than that, man, to me it was just an IPA, and I just wasn't impressed. So I decided that I wasn't gonna do a video on it until it got some age on it, because I was hoping that with some age, it'll start tasting. It'll open up a little bit more. But let's get into the head real quick here. Half a finger of head, yellowy, white. Yeah, I would say yellowy orange head there. Let me turn on the light a little bit, because earlier there was some really good lighting, and so I didn't think that, you know, I had to have my light full blast. But it's getting darker. But before I move into the beer here, get a look at that can artwork. Really cool. It got that cougar there on like a huge ass honeycomb of honey, and a typical Great Notion background there. Totally skipped over the label for some reason. But going back to the beer, man, color is, move it away from the light a little. It's I would say it's like a yellowy orange. It has that slight creamy, I guess, look to it. It's like a paler yellow, a paler orange. Nothing too crazy. Definitely a New England style IPA if you can't tell there. Looks like straight up juice. Let's get the aroma. Okay. I don't remember what the aroma was like before. I mean, I assumed it was probably citrus, because that's what I'm getting off of this can here. Getting some more tropical notes here. Getting mangoes, maybe crushed pineapples. Definitely ripe citrus, man. Like, it just smells sweet, but not quite honey sweet. It's like tropical fruit sweet, not like a honey sweet. And I mentioned that because I know I mentioned there's honey in here, and I know there's honey in here, so I kind of wanted to clarify what kind of sweetness I'm picking up on the aroma. I would say peaches, mangoes, ripe for sure. Citrus, although citrus is not entirely dominant on here, on the nose of this one, it's more of a combination of just tropical fruit aromas. And maybe slight bubblegummy. I've been getting a lot of bubblegum lately from IPAs here, not just Great Notion, but it's just other IPAs in general, like this very cotton candy bubblegum sweetness. In this case, it's like a bubblegum tropical cotton candy aroma. Smells damn good, man. I already know what it tastes like. Fresh. Hopefully it tastes better now than it was before, although it was a good beer to begin with. Cheers. Okay. I'm gonna say the flavor profile has remained mainly the same, but either I change or the beer change. I get more honey now. It is by no means like a, whoa, glass is weird. I'm just looking at my glass in here. It looks like it's cracked or something. Anyways, yeah, it by no means has like a huge honey flavor to it. It just, you get like a, I wouldn't say a whisper. It's more than a whisper of like just wild honey. But for the most part, it's lacking that honey department, man. I kind of was hoping more honey qualities to this, like a little bit more, I guess, sappy, sweet, honey characteristics, I suppose. The finish on this, more or less, reminds me of like a pale ale, like a hoppy pale ale. If I didn't know this was an IPA, an 8% double IPA at that, I would probably guess this is a pale ale, dude. Like the finish is just black to me, honestly. It finishes like a pale ale. I'm not a huge fan of pale ales, but just because of that, like that lacking, like flavor in the beer itself. But I don't mind them. I just like I'd rather drink IPAs just because they feel like they have more flavors incorporated in them. They feel like they're more satisfying to drink, in my opinion, just because they don't just like end abruptly. You know what I mean? Like the flavors kind of just linger. They develop. They build upon each other. This is more. You get a lot of flavor up front, then afterwards you kind of just get nothing. It's just like water, I suppose. Mouthfeel, nothing crazy about them. Oh my god, that glass. I think that glass is jacked up. You kind of see that right there. It won't focus, but kind of towards the rim there. It's kind of jacked up looking. But yeah, beer. Developed slightly. I think it got slightly better. It still is a good beer, but the finish lacks, in my opinion. A Great Ocean has definitely brewed better beers in the past, and they will continue to brew better beers, I assume. I mean, they have been brewing very legit beers. This is not an exception to that. This just isn't up to par of what I've had from Great Ocean, just wanted to say. But it's still a good beer. If you're not into like very hoppy IPAs, double IPAs, I would say this is it. I mean, it is hoppy up front, but that's about it. And then the flavors kind of just dive off, fall off. Honey, not a whole lot of honey there, like I mentioned. You get the juice qualities, I suppose, but just for that split 1-2 seconds, you get mangoes, you get peaches, slight citrus, and that just slight wild honey, man. Like a slight floral wild honey. I'm not sure how to explain it. It's not like honey from the little friggin' honey bear thing. Nothing like that. It's more like organic wild honey on the comb type honey. No trace of alcohol really at all. 8%. That's great, man. Great job doing that. Other than that, just an IPA in my opinion. If you guys like the video, this is, I suppose, Great Ocean in collaboration with Foam Brewers out of Vermont. It is called the Elusive one, I believe. Yes, Elusive one. Double IPA, brewed with honey, 8% ABV. If you guys like the video, give it a thumbs up, comments linked below, subscribe for more videos, hit that bell so you get all the notifications for new videos, and as always, dream big dreams and believe all things are possible. Thanks for watching. Cheers.